Hello, and welcome to Film Slam Stream's post-film conversation for common language. My name is Eric Siler, and I'm a professor of film, media arts, and communications, as well as moderator for this conversation. We are very pleased to be joined by the director of common language, Volia Chajkouskaya. Volia Chajkouskaya was born in Belarus, but she's currently living in Estonia. Viola is a filmmaker that that specializes in telling stories. She started off with journalism and has 11 years of working experience in the media. Volia also attained a master's degree in directing and producing documentary film in the Baltic Film and Media School in Estonia. She launched by Volia Film Production Company in 2016. And since then, she has gone on to do some remarkable things in film. Hello, Volia, and welcome.
Hi, happy to be here.
Yes, Vola, I know for those of you watching, we're having some technical issues with the camera, but we can hear her just fine. And so you're stuck just looking at me, but when this is edited, we'll probably have her picture up as well. Now, this film, Volia, very interesting, common language, inside look into your family. How did you come up with the idea of wanting to do a film like this?
Well, since it's a student film, we studied in the film school in Tallinn. It was sort of like a task, a commitment that we had to fulfill, direct a personal film. And first, I was thinking to make this film like entirely about myself, without involving my family or anyone um, from my relatives, because I sort of didn't have the courage. But then my master, Estonian director and producer Riho Vastrik, he sort of inspired me and pushed me in a way to go to my hometown in Belarus and talk to my parents. It um, mm, it was not an easy decision, honestly. But once we were discussing our ideas for personal films in the film school, like all together with my classmates and the master, and I was telling a story about my father and how he used to be a heavy, like drunkard and like Riho said, like, go and now he's not drinking for like more than 15 years already. But Riho said, like, go and film your father. And I was like, okay. And first, my mother didn't want to be filmed, but then I came and basically she was like, okay. If father is going to be like in the frame and he said yes, then okay, I'm also going to be in there if you want. So she also agreed, and I was like filming them for some time. Yeah, so it was basically like a university task, but yeah, but it's been I think in the air for me for many years, the topic.
Interesting. So what was your parents' reaction after you filmed them, while you were filming them? How did you get them to open up so about their lives?
Well, my parents are very simple people, and they're not very familiar with the cinema world from the inside. So they don't really like understand sort of what it means to be in front of the camera and what it means to be filmed and what they get as an outcome of it. So that's why it was very easy. They were absolutely natural and themselves, not playing, not pretending, like nothing. I was like super happy and lucky. But I don't know, somehow like my mother's attitude was that she has this Soviet education and Soviet mentality that if something is needed for studies, then it should be respected. So my excuse for filming them was that it's needed for my university studies, and she was like eager to help because she thinks that it's good to study. So yeah, so she was sort of helping me with that, and but I've been giving them a little bit of a hard time, of course, with these hard questions. um, but in the end, I think it sort of helped me and my parents to um, kind of uh, start this dialogue that leads to common language, actually, to finding common language.
So, what has your parents, have your parents seen the film? And if so, what has the reaction been?
No, not yet, not yet.
Not yet, okay. Are you waiting for the right time to show it to them? Why haven't you shown it to them yet?
Yeah, I'm exactly. I'm waiting for the right time. It's a very tricky situation at the moment in Belarus. You maybe know a little bit that we have political unrest, and we are basically for already many months in the state of political turbulences and basically a revolution in Belarus. So I haven't been visiting my country for quite a while, and I want to show this film to my parents like in a proper way, so that I'm also with them, and that when they have questions, I can like right away answer these questions or explain things or something. But somehow I'm sure my mother is a little bit embarrassed because she saw the poster of the film when she saw some like screenshots, and she looks at herself and she's saying, oh, like I'm fat and I'm not beautiful or whatever, like this mother stuff. mm, but yeah, but I'm sure she will like the film somehow, I think. And the same as my father. I don't
Yeah,
know, I have a feeling about it. Yeah.
I think so too. So, tell us what you may have left out of the film that you decided not to put in there that might have been too personal or not good enough. Can you talk about that?
What I didn't put in the film, or
Yes, yes, some things you left out of the film.
mm. Oh well, mm, some things. I mean, I think it's still very personal, but I mean, I filmed for several days, and then I was also filming our like Skype conversations. I was thinking maybe I will use this as well, but in the end, it wasn't a good idea. Mm, so I have a lot of like very personal, intimate family talks filmed and recorded. Mm, but yeah, well, I didn't put some very intimate stuff about my mother's past experiences before she met my father, for example. This kind of footage. Um, yeah, some more. I was because I was focusing more about like on how they perceive me, because it's been always a very sort of painful topic for me, how they perceive me, because they were not giving me enough appreciation and encouragement when I was a kid, as I feel it. So I was mainly focusing on what concerns me and their attitude towards me, and why so. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us, well, how are your parents doing? Especially, how is your dad doing? I know he had, problems with them drinking. Tell us about that.
Well, thanks for asking. They are okay. They actually went through COVID in January. Both of them. They were both in the hospital with pneumonia for 2 weeks in a neighboring rooms in the hospital, sort of. like yeah. But they now they are fine. They are fine. We were worried about the father, of course, because he has this. He had a very serious surgery on his heart 6 years ago. Mm, yeah, so we were worried like how COVID might affect his situation, health situation. Um, but it went sort of okay. And yeah, I think that my creative work and generally like my work on myself has a very good positive impact on my parents and on their relationship. And however, for my mother it has always been like a um, problematic to accept my father, forgive him even when he stopped drinking. It took years and years for her to let it go. And yeah, and now it's finally now they are 63 and 62, and now it's more with humor and yeah, more light feelings.
Interesting. So tell me, now that the film is done and and when you look back on the film, what has this film done for you personally? How has it helped you as a person?
Um, it helped a lot. It helped, I guess, in the first place to maybe not fully, but at least partly to get rid of this feeling of shame for what my family is and who my parents are, and start talking about it without crying or something. Um, yeah, I think that's the main thing. That's the most important. Maybe gave me a little bit more personal voice, like made me more brave in also accepting myself, recognizing who I am.
Okay. So, what advice would you give someone who would be interested in telling their family story? Everyone has a cell phone now and has pictures and videos, and they might think, I should maybe tell a story about my family, but what advice would you give to them?
Well, my attitude is that, well, who am I to give to advice, But well, in my humble opinion, the first thing is to be honest with yourself and ask the question why you want to make this film, like what for. Um, what kind of intentions do you have on the first place, and from this, and then take it from there, depending on what intentions you have, I guess. Because yeah, everything that is done with good intentions will bring some positive change, I believe.
I like what you just said. It's all with the intention. It is. So, what's next for you now that this project is done? Besides showing this to your parents, what can we expect to see from you in the near future?
Well, now I'm co-directing my first feature length documentary. It's about um, Belarusian women who are wives of political prisoners in Belarus, men who were detained during the protests in August and autumn 2020 up until now, because we in Belarus have around 200 political prisoners, people who were just put in jail for nothing, for having different political views. And I'm co-directing a documentary about it. It's probably gonna be it will probably gonna take a while before we release it, and it's of course not an easy undertaking also because of security reasons. We have to think of that, of the security of our protagonists, and my own security, and the crew security and everything. But this is something that I'm working on at the moment, like wives of Belarusian political prisoners who are fighting for the freedom of their husbands as well as the freedom of the entire country from the dictator who is in power for already 26 years.
Sounds really intriguing. We can't wait to see it, and I wish you the best with that. Well, Volia, thank you so much for taking some time out and joining us today. I'm sorry we could not see you in person, but hey, we have the film to actually see you. And
Absolutely.
I wish you, all the best with your personal and professional career. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And thank you to our audience for joining us for this um, interesting and innovative conversation with our director, Volia Chajkouskaya. If you're interested in more information about the current 45th Cleveland International Film Festival or any upcoming film festivals, please continue to follow us on social media or visit clevelandfilm.org. I'm Eric Siler. Thank you.